It's Levack and Goz on 104.5 The Team.
We are your home for New York Yankees baseball, and we are very happy to have some serious help to make sense of the current minor slide. Just minor, nothing to worry about, or is it? And that's why we bring in Randy Miller from NJ.com. Randy, is this slide something to be concerned with?
Well, if they were healthy, I would say no, but he's dropping like flies. I think it is. It looks Mason Williams is. I'm having a bad connection, guys. I don't know if you hear.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a little bit. You want us to call you right back?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna call Randy right back. Woods, go grab Randy for us. Call him right back. He's the phone line cutting up a little bit for us right there. But Yankees beat writer for NJ Advanced Media and NJ.com, Randy Miller with us as we, the Yankees, they dropped 3 straight. They haven't been the kind of team to do that. So 3 in a row, does it give you reason to panic? Sounded like Randy was starting to say that, with the current circumstances, with what's built into it, maybe, just maybe, we should be slightly concerned, slightly nervous, maybe a little bit more to it than just, a bad run of games. So, and look, the injuries, they speak for themselves. Something's not right with Tanaka, even though his last outing was good. CC Sabathia, he's got the grade 2 hamstring pull. That's not good. Moving through the rest of the bullpen, a lot of these guys look like they're beat up, and maybe, just maybe, the wear and tear a little bit too much. So we'll get Randy back on the phone in just a second and see exactly what he was thinking. The phones here at the studios, at the team studios, not the greatest at the moment. So we'll see what Randy has to say as soon as we get him on. Of course, you can follow Randy Miller from NJ.com on Twitter at Randy J Miller. Again, he's our guy. He is back. So let's ask Randy. Randy, is this any better? Oh, there we go. Now it is.
I don't know what's going on.
The phones are crazy, my friend. All right, so let's give it one more try and see if we can get you were talking about the injuries potentially making this 3-game losing streak more than what we should just poo-poo away.
Yeah, it looks like Mason Williams is on his way to Oakland, the outfielder, being called up from AAA, which means that Aaron Hicks, who hurt his Achilles last night, my guess is he's on the DL. And also Kyle Higgyosha looks coming up too, which tells me Sanchez's injury may be more serious. He a groin, and his injury may be more serious than first anticipated. It would not shock me if Sanchez is not put on the DL, and Higgyosha is just coming up to be give the Yankees healthy catchers. The Yankees have been playing just 3 extra players. I'm still hearing this. I don't know if you guys are hearing me or not.
It was we can hear you. There was a click going through, but I think I just tried something different. We'll see if it corrects the issue. So a lot of movement coming up from the minors, and my major concern, Randy, was the bullpen, but it seems like it could be a lot more than that.
Well, hopefully Chapman will be back Sunday. The plan is for him to pitch in Trenton on Friday night, and if everything's okay, he will come off, and that will greatly help the bullpen because Clippard has been struggling badly in the 8th inning role. So if they can get the chance to go back in the 8th inning role and Chapman is himself, then the back of the bullpen's good. But you just wonder how a team with a lot of young players, can overcome a lot of injuries. And so far, the Yankees done a great job with that, considering they missed Gregorius for the first month of the season. They played a month without Sanchez. At that point, Romine was hitting. He's not hitting since. You just wonder, and I also wonder how long is someone like Judge going to carry this team? Look, he's obviously greatly improved, but is he going to be Mike Trout for the next 4 months? Also, I don't know, and I just wonder. I also wonder is the starting pitching going to overachieve like it has? So when you lose strength of the team, and the offense is the strength of the team. When you lose strength, and now you're counting on other pieces to pick you up, and the Red Sox are coming hard right now. They're 2 games behind after a slow start. I would be worried right now.
NJ.com's Randy Miller with us right now on 104.5 The Team.
Randy, you talked about Aaron Judge. Should we start believing in a possible Triple Crown race for Aaron Judge?
I don't think so. I can't imagine he's going to hit for average like this. I like his approach. I like the way he's getting a lot of 2-strike hits. He's not chasing like he did last year, but he's so big, and his strike zone is so big that I don't see him being a 340, 330, 320. I think he's going to I think if he ends up hitting 285, the Yankees would be thrilled if he can mash 40 homers or so and do that. So I was talking to Mike Scioscia the other day in the Angels dugout, and he says there are flaws there, and pitchers need to execute them. So it's going to be a chess match the rest of the way with Judge. They're going to make adjustments. He's going to have to make adjustments. He's a smart kid. He's been doing a great job. But Triple Crown, I think the batting average part is going to be the toughest, because I don't think if you look at his resume, look at the back of his baseball card through the minors, I think he hit maybe 303 one year. I think he had 270 last year. He's just not a guy who has been a big average guy and throughout his career coming up. So I just can't imagine when he goes from 270 in AAA to 340 in the big leagues.
Randy Miller of NJ.com with us on 104.5 The Team. Randy, when you talked about the help that was flying out to Oakland to get through this injury time, you didn't mention Gleyber Torres, and a lot of Yankee fans are chomping at the bit to see the young man come up from AAA. What are your thoughts on Gleyber Torres?
I was told by a Yankee source a few weeks ago that they are grooming him to be the starting third baseman at some point this year. Headley has picked it up the last few days. He's been very, very streaky offensively and defensively. I talked to a scout about Torres last week who thinks he will be Major League ready by the end of the year. The plan, as I've been told, is to put Headley as a bench player to play some first base, some third base, little DH, and the Yankees want to build a bench of quality veterans, and because they're not going to be able to trade him. He's making, I think, $13 million next year too, and no one's going to take on that contract unless the Yankees eat most of it. So I think they're thinking at this point, keep him the end of the year, and but Torres has to show that he's ready, and he's playing third base a lot for the first time. He's facing better pitching in AAA. A lot of guys who have played in the big leagues that know how to pitch young hitters, and he's going to have a little bit more success there, I think. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets called up in late July or August to take over. But let's see how he develops the next month and a half.
Switching to the rotation, Randy, how big of a blow might CC Sabathia's injury be, and who do we see as a possible replacement for him down for the next month or so?
Well, CC doesn't think that the injury is that severe. He has a grade 2 hamstring strain, and we had the same thing in 2013. It was late September, and he missed his final start, but Cashman said at the time that the recovery was 6 to 8 weeks. CC told me the other night that he thought it would be a lot less than that. So I think that CC's hoping against hope that he misses just one start, and if he's on the DL for 10 days, you can miss just one start considering that they have the off day on Monday. My gut feeling is it's going to be more than that. You need to be extra careful with hamstrings, and especially hamstrings with pitchers, and then you throw in that he's an older guy and a big guy. So I think that they're going to have to keep him down for at least 3 weeks or so. Luis Cessa is probably going to be the guy that takes his turn for at this point. The Yankees haven't announced it yet because Cessa was called up yesterday, but they have not announced the starting pitcher for Saturday or Sunday. I think what's going to happen is Cessa will start Saturday, and Tanaka will be pushed back till Sunday. That gives him an extra rest again. He had an extra day between his last start and finally had a good outing. I think working with Romine had something to do with that too, and also the fact that he worked on his splitter and it was diving like it had in the past So I think Seth is going to get the first shot. He did not do well in spring training. He had a bad stretch in May of 3-4 starts that were terrible, but he's pitched a lot better his last 3 starts. He's been commanding his fastball a lot better. Joe Girardi told me yesterday. And Seth did a pretty decent job last year late in the season when he called up to make some starts. He's a kid who can really throw hard. They got him in that same trade from Detroit 2 winters ago for Justin Wilson, and he's a kid who can hit 100 miles an hour. So he's a hard thrower, but he needs to locate and have his other pitches working for him too. And he's been inconsistent throughout his time with the Yankees in being able to spot his fastball and command his other pitches. So that's going to be the key, but I think he will get the first chance. And if he does well, I think he'll be in there until CC comes back, or who knows, until there's another injury.
Randy Miller with us. Randy, before we let you get out of here, the trade deadline, I'm seeing more and more articles about moves that should be made before the deadline. Is this going to be another quiet year for the Yankees, or do you see a couple targets you think they'll go after?
I think it depends on injuries. If they stay in first place and they need a starting pitcher, I still think they can get to the playoffs as is. But I'm not sure that they can compete with the Astros, and the Astros think that they can win a World Series. I think the Astros are going to go out and get whomever is the hottest starting pitcher at the time. Nobody right now really excites me, but let's see in another month and a half who's out there. Maybe if Quintana with the White Sox gets hot over the next month, that there's a bidding war for him. I don't see the Yankees giving up top prospects, though. They've been adamant that they're not going to do that, and I don't think that they're going to do that now. It wouldn't surprise me if they need a bullpen piece that they go get one. And if a first base is a position where you could look at as an upgrade, considering at this point Greg Bird's had a setback. He hit 6 for 60 in his short time with the Phillies. He got hurt in a spring training game against the Phillies late in the season. He had a great spring, and he hasn't been the same since. And now yesterday they shut him down in his rehab assignment, and I'm not sure what they're going to get out of Bird this year if they get anything. And Carter is a starting first baseman, and he is just such an all-or-nothing guy. And I don't like him playing first base. He dropped the ball, missed the ball the other night that little leaguers would catch. And you never see that in the big leagues. And scouts have told me you better throw the ball right to him because he's not a good defensive player. And we have not seen him in a real hot streak yet. Maybe your feelings change on him if he has about a 3-week stretch where he hits 8 or 10 home runs, like he did last year when he was in Milwaukee and had 41 homers. But we haven't seen that. He strikes out a lot. He's not a good defensive player. And if they're going to get nothing on Bird, that could be a position because Matt Holliday is not a candidate to be a full-time first baseman. I asked Girardi that yesterday. Girardi says because of his past histories with his back, he's okay putting him there every once in a while, maybe a couple times a month, but he's not going to even play him there 2-3 times a week, maybe once a week. So that could be a position. And the other guy that could help them is maybe they call up Tyler Austin. I like Tyler Austin. He brings energy, has some power. He's hitting around 300 in AAA. He began the year on the DL, 60-day DL. He came up last year and impressed me in his few games. I'm not sure he's a big-time candidate to be a star player in this league, but I think that he could help them, and it wouldn't surprise me if he takes over and gets some at-bats at first base sometime soon.
Randy Miller, NJ.com, man. We appreciate you toughing it out through the stupid phone issues we're having, and thanks for the insight.
Okay, take care, guys.
You too, man. Randy, good stuff, man. I like the Tyler Austin stuff. I like a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces, and he's got a very different take than Buster does.
Are you a little bit depressed with the news he gave you on Greg Bird?
Yeah, that does hurt a little bit. But I mean, it's nice to hear somebody who. I feel like Goz just likes to argue with me. It's nice to hear somebody who just gets it that Carter is a defensive liability.
He is.
Like completely, and the bat is not strong enough to make up for that.
There's not a real true first baseman on the team. Maybe Tyler Austin can kind of fill that void once he comes up.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that.
We'll find out, though.
All right, the super team debate continues. Who started them? Who's going to finish them? That's next.